Hello and welcome to episode 7 of the Forever Stranded series. Guys, I've got a few plans for today, but one of the first things that I want to do is try and get the parts for a Tinker's Smeltery. Now, inside these buildings, the one that have 3 roofs, like that one, are the parts. That's where all the stuff is hidden. But they're also guarded by several spawners. So what I'm going to try to do is run up in here and take care of that really quickly if I'm able to. But I gotta do some scouting and see what's around first. Oh, 2 creepers. That means there's gonna be a creeper spawner around there. Not sure what happened there. There we go. All of a sudden I didn't have my sword. That would make it very difficult to do anything. Alright, let's try attacking this from a slightly different angle. Let's come in this side. Hey, strangely I'm okay with that. Oh, got to spawn a skeleton. Well, that's not terrible. It's not ideal, but it's not terrible. Okay, so I got that. So let's come along the side here, because I'm pretty sure, yeah, I was going to find the creeper spawner over here. Okay, and there we go. Whew! Whew! So that's going to give us this. I don't think that they can stop us at this point, because I don't think there's a third spawner inside the room. If there is, it's one of the super underground ones. Because I didn't tell you this before, guys, because I'd honestly just kind of forgotten about it. But there are spawners that exist just like in the ground around the place. Alright, well now that we've got this, let's just vein mine it all out. I feel kind of bad using vein miner to like just rush in here and take something, but if it's something that I've already properly destroyed the room and taken control of, I'm not going to feel bad about coming in here and vein mining it out. So, now we'll head back and we'll set up our smeltery. I'll just have to come up with the place where I want it to be. So I'm going to run back, look around a little bit, see where I want that to be, and then I will come right back to you. Alright, and we're back at the base, and I've got the smeltery set up over here for now. I'm not sure if I'm really happy with the placement, but it happened to work out very well where it's butted up against our farm here, and also this area that I made on the side, because I came out the side and I planted all of the trees that we got from doing the various quests, and so we now have a little manual tree farm going where we're getting the maple syrup, pears, oranges, and apples over here. So the other thing is the last time we finished up a quest that gave us a loot chest and we didn't pop it, so we're going to pop it now together. Boom. That is not bad. 18 redstone and 18 lapis, that is not bad at all. That'll help jumpstart us a little bit on some of the other things that we have planned here. Now, of course, like I said, guys, the next big thing that I'm wanting to put together is a mob spawner slash farm, where we're going to have mobs come in and then get them killed off, get all their drops, collect them up, and then have plenty of resources from the various things. Because, I mean, for instance, bones would be fantastic to have right now. We could really use some more stuff like that. But also, we've got to take care of our crops, because that stuff, is what's keeping us alive at the moment, because it's giving us stuff to eat. Now, the crops themselves can be eaten, so each of these is a meal. Regardless of how bad it is for you, they are all a meal, so you can help to reset your food timer just by eating all of this stuff. And of course, it can be made into various things as well. So let's go ahead and throw all this stuff inside of the cabinet here, and then we'll take a look at the quest log, because one of the things that happened there is we got this one completed by having all of the smeltery parts in our inventory. So we're going to go ahead and claim that as well. And then we've got several casts right off the bat: tough tool rod, axe head, wide guard, the normal tool rod, so we could make some metal tool parts if we really wanted to. Now I don't think that that's what we're aiming at like right away, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this up and put down a, well, I was going to say that I was going to put down a chest, but I guess I actually don't have any that are already made up, even though I really thought that I did. That's no problem though. Oh, I do. Right there. Right there. You're always blind when you're making videos, guys. You can see everything when you're not. But I'm going to go ahead and throw those in there, and then we'll come back to that. Let's go ahead and pop this loot chest. 16 oak wood planks. Thanks for that chest that we just didn't have to make there. I guess is how I kind of feel about that. So let's throw this in here, because that's for the, if you're playing the hardcore mode, which we're not, because I feel like it's vaguely impossible. I am just not that skilled, so I just don't even try. Because you've seen, I mean, you haven't seen actually, I haven't shown you anywhere near the amount of times that I've actually died, but I've died pretty frequently. So anyways, moving on from various flaws that I may or may not have, let's look at the quest that opened up. Better tools, so we've got obsidian stuff it wants us to make, which we can do inside of the smeltery, because obsidian can be made in there, so that's good. And then we've also got need to make the engineer's manual, which I think that this quest line, assuming that it hasn't changed since I did it in the previous version of the world where I couldn't progress any further, this does lead us to some of the power generation stuff, so that might be good for us to go down a little bit and see what we can get. But I tell you truthfully, what I'm really interested in is getting tier. The thing that lets us just control our temperatures on the fly and keep them at the neutral level is going to be quite helpful, because one of the things in this pack that we're going to want to do is conquer some of the dungeons that exist in the world, because roguelike dungeons is one of the mods that's in here, and that provides you a definite challenge, particularly on the lower levels if you can't stay cool. Because there's, blazes and lava and all kinds of other stuff that heats you up. So we're going to want to mess with that before we get too deeply into that stuff. So I'm going to take a look here, maybe do some grinding out to get us some more resources to even put into this thing. Really try to get the lava stuff going, and then I will be back with you once we're making some progress. Alright, and I am done. I've put together a bit of a spawner room over here on the opposite side of the building from where the tree farm is. I figure this will be far enough away from where I am most of the time to be able to get something to spawn. Now I am a little concerned because it's kind of close to some of the other buildings, and those buildings have spawners, and I think that's eating up the mob cap a little bit. But it's okay. I will figure it out. Since it's going to be spawning while I'm down here anyways, I might not even run into that issue. Now, eventually, the plan really is to take the towers, something like those buildings over there, and turn them into a monster spawner in and of themselves. Right now, I lack the, really the strength to be able to take on those things. I tried to take down one of them and got killed very quickly, and so I moved away from it, and I'm trying out some other things to try to get myself a little bit more advanced into the game before I try to do that again. Now it does look kind of garbage, honestly. Like, I didn't put in a lot of effort here to try to figure out like what would be a good thing, but I figured Desert Temple wasn't like so crazy of an idea, although in the city I guess it might be. But Eh, I will redesign it later, of course, and then we will get to see something that's a little bit more put together than this sort of slapdash thing that I've done here. Now, the other thing that I need to work on, because it's something that I need to move towards, is I have some ideas on how to make that a good bit better, but it requires stuff that I don't exactly have right now. I'm going to have to get some sand and put it through the old sieve wringer to try and get myself some of the resources for what I want to attempt next. So I'm going to get that stuff together because what I'm really trying to do is get the stuff together to do a witch water farm to get something set up that's going to, as I need it, make some witch water for me. And for that, you need the ancient spores, or at least that's what they used to be called. I don't know if that's what they're still called, but it's an item that turns dirt into mycelium, which will then be able to turn water that's being put together inside of it into witch water. And if you have witch water, you can turn a skeleton into a wither skeleton. It affects a few other mobs too, but mostly that's the one that I'm interested in because that's what's going to allow me to get the next item to improve upon both the mob farm and also a few other things as well. Like maybe be able to push us towards getting an angel ring because I really need it to be able to make that. But yeah, so I'm going to do a little bit of the grindy sieving and also get some of the bits together that I need for those next steps, and then I will bring you back. Alright, folks, I wanted to bring you back because there's been a couple of significant advancements here. Now, number one, I've been sending all of our resources through the smeltery here, and you can see we've got quite a bit stocked up there, so we can try to pound through a couple of the quests here, maybe get a few things done. But also, you can see in my inventory there's an ender pearl. I finally got my first enderman to spawn inside of the spawn room over here. And of course, due to the Quark mod, an Enderman that you're fighting openly will teleport you around if you try to be underneath something like this. But if they can't see you, then they don't get that opportunity available to them. So as soon as they spawned in here, I was able to kill them, and there was no real penalty to myself. It wasn't even a struggle. I totally took them down. But yeah, I also managed to get a number of bows together so that I could have one that was at full durability. This is something that we could have built for ourselves a long time ago, realistically, but it's just better, you know, to not have to waste the resources. I was able to get it through some skeletons, so that worked out magnificently. So yeah, I thought that we would look at a couple of quests together and see what we could do here. So let's take a look. Now, the basic survival tree, I do really want to work towards this, so we're going to take a look at that first, and we get some decent rewards from it here. 2 lava mills so that we can generate some GP quite easily, maybe get ourselves a couple of those things up and running. So let's look at the recipe there for a temperature regulator. Yep, there we go. Geez. 3 cooling coils, 3 heating coils, 2 iron generators, and some advanced circuit, which is, geez, a whole lot of redstone among, just, that's a rabbit hole of crafting. I really don't like industrial craft for that, which, you know, is not necessarily everybody's opinion, but for me, I just don't really see the point of making you craft like 18 different things in order to get to the one thing that you're wanting to do. And maybe this is just advanced enough that that's where it's at, but that's never been my experience with industrial craft. It all works that way. Okay, so if we are stymied there temporarily, let's take a look at this one. We managed to get that done. Let's look at the engineer's manual. That's a quest we can get done. Engineer. There we go. So it's a book and a lever. Gosh, that is super simple. We could have done this ages ago. Why didn't we? Oh yeah, because we didn't need to yet, and there wasn't a quest for it. Makes perfect sense to me. Alright, so let's grab ourselves a cobblestone and stick, make a lever, put that there along with a book, and boom, we've got an engineer's manual. So we are done with that quest, but we have to choose either 6 clay or 6 nether bricks. Clay is decidedly easier to make, so I'm going to take the nether bricks, and we're going to go ahead and claim that request. Get that done, then we got on the Blaze Coke here, because I do believe that this quest line, like if we take this one down far enough, this is the quest line that ends with us getting some power generation going, so this would not actually be a bad idea for us to just go ahead and pursue anyways. So Coke bricks and blast bricks. Let's look at this. Okay, so at immersive and then brick. There we go. So coke bricks, clay, 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 and sandstone. And then the blast bricks is, nether bricks. That's a little bit more involved, but I think we have enough between the 6 that we just got and also the 6 that we, or the bits that we had before from some loot crates that we opened. We should be able to do that. So let me pound out getting the clay heated up and cast, and then I will be back with you. Alright, I think that we have everything needed to complete that quest, but let's take a look. Okay, so coke bricks, we need 4 of them. Bam, we got 4 of them. Check. Blast bricks. Oh, I know what happened. For some reason, these nether bricks and the 6 that I had before, like, because I had to make 2 new ones, weren't stacking together, and I have no idea why, because they don't have different items, they didn't have any different NBT data. I have no idea why they're different, but they are. But anyways, boom, that's the 4 bricks done, so let's jump to that quest and complete it. Fantastic. So then we're down to the one tool, where we need an engineer's hammer. That should also not be very hard for us to make. Let's take a look. 2 iron, some string, and 2 sticks. 2 sticks, 2 iron, and string. Bam! Got that one knocked out too. Claim that reward. And then, yep, it branches off into this stuff, which gets to storage, and then this stuff, which starts getting to power, and then this stuff, which also starts getting to power. So that's actually what I was looking for there. Now, to get this done, we need a whole bunch of treated wood, and so that's actually going to lead us towards needing to make the actual coke oven instead of just the 4 bricks that we made a minute ago for it, which are right here, actually. So that's going to be a little bit more involved because that's mining more clay and stuff. So I'm going to have to, unfortunately, I hate doing so many cuts in one episode, but I'm going to have to cut out, and then we'll come back once I can put that stuff together, and we'll see how it works. Okay, so I set up a coke oven up top there. We're underneath the base right now in the main room. I've made a mycelium patch over here. Now that was just by placing down dirt and then right-clicking it with one of the spores. That's the drop instead of ancient spores. That's what it used to be called. And then I used the watering can to just make it spread around. Because one of the things that we also need is witch water. And so I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. Basically, you just put down one of these oak barrels on some mycelium, throw some water into it, and eventually it should start transforming into witch water, unless something has changed. Now, in previous versions of this mod, or in mods similar to it, I guess I should say, that used to make mushrooms spawn on the mycelium, but I guess it does not do that now. That's a change in this pack, I believe. So we're going to wait for that to turn into witch water, and then we're going to use it. Witch water can be used to convert sand into soul sand, much like the much like you can create netherrack by putting redstone inside of lava when it's inside of one of these barrels. Now Oh, there it goes. There it goes. I was a little bit concerned, starting to be, because it hadn't said that it was changing over to Witchwater, but that's good. I'm glad that it's going to. There's a couple of other things that you can do with Witchwater. Most notably, you can change monsters into different types of monsters. For instance, if a skeleton touches Witchwater, then it will become a Wither skeleton. If a uh, creeper touches Witchwater, it will become a charged creeper. If you touch a squid with Witchwater, it turns into a ghast. So I'm glad there's no squid spawning inside of our monster area, because we definitely do not want a ghast suddenly spawning there. Even though it would probably just suffocate in the walls, I guess. But the first thing we're going to do here is take this and make a soul sand with it. Fantastic. And now we need to hop back up there. Let's see if we can get ourselves positioned here. This isn't the easiest transition at the moment. Eventually I'll look to making some kind of auto... Oh, I'm not even on the right block. That'll help, right? If you're on the right block to when you want to go up, yeah. Eventually I'll make that to where there's ladder elevators. This was just a super temporary thing that I dug out just because I wanted the mycelium to be underground for like aesthetical purposes. So let's go ahead and grab out this. Oh, I don't know if I showed you guys this actually. So basically up here I have some leaves that I trimmed off trees, putting them in here, and then I have this tank pulling the water out of it straight away. Like if we look at the configuration here, you can see that on that side I've set it to pull, so it automatically pulls any water that's made by this thing out. Now for a little while I had it automatically set up with a hopper, but it was just destroying the leaves because anytime this thing dropped, it's like when it goes to, it makes 8 fluid volume there. Every time it did that, it put a new leaf into the crucible, which obviously wasn't making the full amount there. You can see that 4 leaves made 1,000 solid volume, but it went down by 8 and then immediately put a new leaf in, so it was just burning through them. So I have to do it manually for now until I figure out something else. I think it might be a problem with the hopper. Other liquid or transfer pipes and things like that might do this a little bit better. I'm not 100% certain on that. But that's something that we'll figure out, as we're moving forward. Let's go ahead and throw this in there, and then we will come back up again and put the soul stand where it needs to be, which is right here inside this furnace, because I'm actually looking to turn this into Vile Dust, which is something from the Soul Shards mod that's included in this one. But I need it for a different quest, actually, because the one that I was looking at getting done in here, this one, that required the creosote oil out of the coke oven, so that's going to take a minute to get there. But down here, we've actually got transfer pipes as one of the things, and it gives us, there's a bunch of choice rewards here. A loot chest, some liquid pipes, some energy conduits. So we got some good options there, but we need to make a transfer pipe. And the transfer pipe in this particular version has been changed over to where it now requires Vile Dust. So stone slabs to quite clear glass. Does it have to be quite clear? No. Okay, good. It can be any glass. And then stone slabs there. So let me figure out. I know that I have some smooth stone somewhere. I'm just really not sure where. Is it in here? Gravel, bricks. I might actually be out. Alright, well anyways, I've got some extra cobblestone laying here, so we'll go ahead and get some of that smelted as well. Man, I put out this tiny charcoal so I could do them just one at a time, and then I still end up doing them in volumes of 8 just for expediency's sake. It's crazy how the mind works like that. I'm so used to doing it in blocks of 8 that's just what I try to do now. I don't even know where I got this andesite from. That's weird. So then we'll take 2 of this glass. We'll have just 1 more, please. Thank you. Thank you. If I can actually grab it. And then stone slabs. Throw those down, put the Vile Dust in the middle with the 2 pieces of glass, and we've got ourselves 6 transfer pipes. And that's that quest done. So now we just have to choose our reward. This is a pretty difficult one, actually, because 3 energy conduits is kind of big right now. Liquid pipes, also not a bad thing to have, but yeah, random chance, baby. Let's see how this works out for us. Probably poorly. These have not worked out well recently. We actually have two of them because there was one that we didn't pop earlier. So let's go ahead and pop that. 30 grass. Huh. Yeah, not that great in a thing that doesn't have Botania or anything that uses it really. And this one, 40 emerald ore. That's fantastic. So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait to pop that because I want to have fortune on a tool before I do that. So we're gonna go ahead and put that in here. Oh, by the way, we've got the emeralds for um, making the 4 blocks. It took me a while, but we do have them now. So we'll go ahead and complete that quest too. Now I've got some thoughts on the spawner eggs. I'm not sure if I'm going to turn in that villager spawn egg immediately. But we certainly can. So yeah, we got the 4 blocks, consume quest, detect submit, and then claim that reward. And now we could, like I said, could immediately turn it in here, get an extra lifeblood crystal and a loot chest. But I'm not sure about this because one of the things that you can do with spawn eggs is, of course, you can change you can change spawners over to be that type of thing. So I could turn this in to a villager spawner on one of the vanilla Minecraft spawners out here, and then we'd be able to get some villagers spawned in this area and start repopulating this town, which is definitely something that I'm interested in from like I'll call it a storyline perspective. Is actually putting some living beings other than myself inside of this area so that they can be killed by us too, right? But we do also have other options on villagers. Of course, if we capture a zombie villager, then we can turn it into a normal one. So I'm thinking that we really should just turn this in. There also might be other ways to get spawn eggs. Oh, let's do it. Let's go ahead and do it. Boom. Claim that reward. Gives us another loot chest, which we'll go ahead and pop. Moss stone, not a great reward. Another lifeblood crystal. 6 hearts. And an extra life. We're just... Can I go ahead and consume this? No. Okay, so I'm going to put it in here. And we'll put it in some kind of... Maybe we'll put it on display later, like a collection type thing. Did that open up any quests? No. No, okay. Okay. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking for all of these other spawn eggs that we get, is that we might turn one of the vanilla Minecraft spawners over here in the town into a spawner for that particular mob, because then we can get, you know, cows flowing, which means we get leather, and we can get milk, and we could also get some chickens for eggs, and also for feathers, sheep for wool. I mean, all this stuff, it's good, and all of these can of course be used in recipes over here too, which is fantastic actually. So let's see, what should we work on now? Also, the killing quest is coming along nicely. We finished out zombies, skeletons. We got some more spiders to kill. Creepers are done. Endermen have been rare to spawn inside of my spawner chamber, which I'm actually kind of upset about. Let's go take a look at that real quick. Probably just go ahead and kill whatever's in here, right? But yeah, so creepers spawn pretty frequently. Skeletons spawn super frequently. Zombies, of course, the most common, with both the husks and the zombies themselves spawning. We also have the Ashen, which is why the skeletons weren't hard to get either, honestly. And Dwellers, another type of zombie, basically, I guess. I mean, it's not really, but because they can be invisible and just show up suddenly, which is why you didn't see them there. But yeah, so that's what we've been doing there, which is fantastic. And let's check on this. Ah, we're done. Actually, we got all the creosote oil. Fantastic. So we're going to make some treated wood soon, too. But I think that's going to do it for this episode. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed it. We got some good progress going here. Not big things, but we're powering through the quests, which is also important because it's going to get us that's going to get us a whole bunch of rewards that we can use to further our goals here. Also, of course, it's better to finish them in order so that way we can keep the flow going. It helps out to keep you focused, if nothing else. And transfer pipes is a big advancement because now that we have those, we can make some transfer nodes and start, like, doing this automatically is going to be a big thing for me. Like, I don't want to have to sit here and put cobblestone into this thing to have it drop down. Instead, I could just have a cobblestone generator up here, which I went ahead and upgraded to the next tier. I just haven't placed it down yet because I've been waiting on getting some automation going here. Um, but yeah, so that's gonna be next episode maybe. Also, maybe we'll explore a little bit more of the town after we make some better armor, because the jelly stuff doesn't really cut it. You wouldn't believe how many times I've died in here, guys. But yeah, so I will work on some things for the next episode. Probably generate some more resources in between, and then I will see you when you get back here. Later, guys.